One of the reasons I left Germany at the end of the 90s was that I was looking for a traditional wife. At this time, the traditional wives were absolutely out of stock in Germany, but I could find them, many of them at this time in Eastern Europe. So, for instance, in Hungary, I was going after leaving Germany at the end of the 90s. At this time, it was very normal for Hungarian women to uh, to make the household, to keep everything clean in the house, to make you a very good meal, and to care for the children. But feminism has also ruined for many years the people in Hungary. Of course, there are still very nice and beautiful uh, women out there, but for all that are looking for a traditional wife, I think it's impossible to find it nowadays in Hungary. And so I went around to other countries in the east. I went to Russia, I went to Ukraine, and I dated many girls in Ukraine and Russia, and so also in the Philippines in Asia, but in the Philippines. But there is one very big, one huge difference between the girls in Eastern Europe and in Asia, or mainly the Philippines, because the Philippines, the women are so used to the dating sites and to the social media and to the laptop and to the computer, to the IT, but not so in Eastern Europe or in Russia. They are so that means when you want to find a traditional girl in Russia or Ukraine, they are out there, but those you find on the dating sites are mostly the scammers, because those good girls that are very suspicious about the dating site, they are not to find there. And that was the reason. Of course, I like the beautiful Russian and Ukrainian ladies, but those I met on the dating sites, that were the scammers that want to go to the rich countries. So Hungary was not good enough. They wanted to go not even to Germany. They wanted to go to Switzerland. So they want to find a very rich man, husband, best in Zurich. So with 3 houses and millions of money, and not to work at all. So I'm questioning. So also, if I'm not that kind of a rich guy, but also when you are, are you willing uh, to buy, let's say, buy a woman from Russia that is all the day doing nothing, just sitting there nice and spending your money? I think this is also not, will never happen. Just for very stupid guys, because that is not a win for us men. So anyway, I decided then to go to the Philippines, and they are very open, of course, for dating. And I met many nice Filipinos. So at the end now I make a very contact with very nice traditional Filipino, and I make, from my experience. So first, they are used to go to dating sites. You can choose between many, and you can keep the scammers aside. After the time, you know who is scamming you or not, and even who is a woman or who is a man at the end. You know this after a little bit practicing. But then what I really like for the Filipinos, Filipino woman, is they are really hardworking and they are feminine. Also, when they work from all the day long, they are at the end of the day, they are beautiful with the long hair, they are nice looking, and not so like in Germany and the other countries that they are behaving like men. So we men of course want a woman that looks like a woman and behaves feminine, right? And they are also like to cook for us in the Philippines. It's no problem to make a meal for their husbands. so that's what I really like. And not last but not least, they speak English. That's a very big advantage, because all the other neighbor countries, it's very hard to find women that are speaking English, right? And how will you communicate with them? It's really difficult, I think. So for my now dating experience from Eastern Europe and from Asia, mainly the Philippines, I think it's really worth to date in the Philippines, to get to learn some nice women there, and then to go to the Philippines and to get to know them in person. But before you can date and have conversations and choose, and then you go there and you can get to know them, you can talk with them and everything. So I think it's really different when you, let's say you meet a woman in Vietnam, also very beautiful ladies, or in Russia. But so Russia, there are other problems, but when you, how will you communicate with them? And for Eastern Europe, so for Russia, it's so Ukraine ladies I found that once I met on the dating sites, they are very spoiled during the last years, and maximal money demands they have. But it was not a few years ago. So I think before the war, or let's say even 3-4 years ago, it was different, but somebody told them. So it's very easy to find a very rich guy through the internet, so, and that's why they become very spoiled. So I think when you want to get to know a Russian lady, there's no other chance than to get to learn Russian and to go there to live in Russia. But that's far more time consuming. Of course, you need some years for doing this, but they need to trust you, and they would just to trust you when they get to know you, and they just get to know you when you are there at their place where they are. So at the end, it makes for me now, after considering all those arguments, much sense to date women in the Philippines. And of course, so at October I will go there and I make my experiences there in person. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thanks, bye bye.